Hi everybody, it's Yvette and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Today we are making beer stew. Yes, beer stew. I know it kind of sounds crazy, but it is so good. It is so comforting during fall and winter, and it's seriously a hit every time I make it. My husband loves it, my whole family loves it, everybody loves it, and it's just a little bit different than your average stew. So I'm going to share this recipe with you guys. So this is what you're going to need: a half of a yellow onion, 5 cloves of garlic, 1 large parsnip. If you don't know what a parsnip is, it is a white carrot, about 7 regular carrots, 1 extra large russet potato, about 1 cup of grape tomatoes, 1 medium-sized leek, a 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour, and 1.5 pounds of stew meat that I actually cut up into even smaller pieces. And the reason I did that was because not only will your stew cook faster, but your meat will be a lot more tender if you do that. A half a can of any kind of beer, I just have Budweiser on hand, and some Miss Dash Italian medley seasoning. And then we're also going to be using a lot of water, so just keep that in mind. So let's get started. Okay, so you're going to need 1 large pot, and we are going to turn the heat to medium high, and we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So the very first thing I'm going to do is cut up my onion. Okay, and then once your pot is hot, we're going to add in our yellow onions. And we're going to cook these until they're fragrant, so about maybe 3 minutes or so. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in the stew meat. So we're going to give this a stir and cook this for about 5 minutes. Once your stew meat looks just like this, if you can tell, all of the meat has been seared, and all we're going to do now is turn the heat down to medium-low, and we're going to add in about 2 cups of water, or just enough to overlap all of the meat, and we're actually going to let this simmer on medium-low for about 45 minutes. I'm just going to put the lid on it and let it cook, and we'll be back in 45. Okay, so now that it's been almost 45 minutes since my meat has been simmering, I'm going to go ahead and cut up my vegetables and my potato. I didn't want to peel this early because, you know, it will turn brown, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so I did go ahead and peel my potato, and I'm going to cut it in half and just dice it up. Then I'm just going to cut my carrots into little coins. Then I'm also going to cut up the parsnip. So I did cut the dark greens off of the leek, and I'm going to actually cut this in half and just dice this up. Going to chop up the garlic, and you don't have to cut these up super fine because I think that it tastes better if it's a little bit more chunky versus, you know, so minced, if that makes sense. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes. I'm just going to turn the heat down to low and remove the lid. Okay, and then your meat should look nice and tender just like this. So let's add in our veggies. Okay, so I'm going to add in the potatoes, the parsnips, the carrots, the leek, our grape tomatoes, and the garlic. So now I'm just going to add about 3 to 5 cups of cold filtered water, just enough so it overlaps all the veggies and the meat once again. Okay, so that was 3 cups, and here's 2 more. And now you just want to turn your heat back up to medium. And I just love it that it is so colorful and full of flavor. Oh, you guys are going to love it. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a little bit of sea salt. some crushed black pepper, and our Miss Dash Italian medley seasoning. The more the better. Just give it a quick stir one more time. So we're going to simmer this for another 45 minutes with the lid off. And at the very end is when we add in our beer and the whole wheat flour, and then we're going to be all done. It has been 45 minutes. Now I'm going to add in my half a can of beer. The final step is to take the 1/4 cup of flour, and I'm going to add to it just a little bit of water. And this is the same concept as using cornstarch. I'm just going to mix this up and make sure we have no clumps. And this is going to thicken the stew just a little bit. Not too much, but it does make a big difference. Okay, so once you have all the lumps out, what you want to do is turn the heat all the way up to high. We're going to dump this in and just stir it. You just want to make sure you keep on stirring this for like about 30 seconds because this is what kind of works its magic. And then once you can tell that the top of your stew is nice and glossy, that's how I know it's completely done. I don't know, the flour just does something. I promise you, it is so good. So now I'm just going to turn the heat completely off and serve. So here is the final result. I hope you guys give it a try. It is so yummy, lightweight, full of color, and I think you guys are going to love it. So thank you so much for watching this week's Day Fit Sunday. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!